Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be talking more about our spiritual journey and give little updates on how we're dealing with that. And
Yeah.
I shouldn't say dealing with that like it's a negative thing.
No, but as we were discussing, like, I have to amend one of my original goals because I realized I set a goal that's sort of not attainable for reasons we'll get into later. So it's just like, we're human. So that's all she means is, you know, the way we're attaining our goals or realizing maybe me realizing I overset a goal for myself or just, you know, like also things like that I've just become more aware of because of the goals that we've both set for our spiritual journey.
Well, you know, and that's something I really want to address in this segment. That's what it would be called, right?
Yeah,
segment.
sure. I like that.
And the spiritual journey segment, and say that again, is we are all human. I noticed that there's so many I'm not going to say segment again. There's so many spiritual journey, people talking about them and gurus, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And it's very strict and it very, it's...
Oh, you must do this?
Yes!
Oh, I can't stand that. Once you tell me I have to do something, I'm damn well not fucking doing that shit.
Well, trust me, bitch. My husband knows that one. I'm not doing it.
My dad, my former boss that I'm still good friends with.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just that. It's I think it's also dehumanizing because humans make mistakes.
Well, not just make mistakes, but we're all individuals.
Right.
So to tell me that I have to do it your way because it worked for you, to me that's demoralizing because I already have aversions to certain things maybe that are said that you say have to be done that way. And I say, well, why does it have to be done that way?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Individuality is important to acknowledge in spiritualism.
I totally agree. Our spiritual journeys are unique because we all are unique.
Exactly.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So, do you want to talk about the one that unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately,
no,
it's a negative thing.
I'm a busy individual, right? So
Very busy.
Yeah. I am. So I realized that one of my goals was to spend an hour in my fucking amazing yard every day during the decent months, so spring and summer and fall, right?
I mean, ideally, it sounds fucking great.
Does. Right, but then I realized, so I was trying to, some days we had, not so great weather and stuff, so I'm, trying to squeeze it in where I can when it's not raining or something, and, if you follow us on Twitter, you may know I was under the weather because of my allergies, so I sure as shit wasn't going outside when that was going on. I'm not, fucking an evil bitch to my lungs. I try to take care of them to a degree.
That was real.
Yeah, no. But seriously, I have a lot of allergy issues, especially where we live.
Oh, my poor husband.
You know? So, right, exactly.
We've got maple trees. We've got...
You've seen my yard.
Oh, my God.
The amount of pollen that lives here, guys, it's a lot.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're in agriculture.
Yeah, that too. Right. Yeah.
So.
Seriously.
Shit
and that is
well.
actually, right, yeah. And because of where we live, that's why my allergies are so bad here. My doctor once told me, it's basically we live in a bowl in the middle of a bunch of different ecosystems. So, all these different pollens just get dumped here.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's all this stuff attacking my lungs at the same time. And that's why I have so many problems living here. That I've lived in Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania. I've lived in all sorts of places. This is the worst place for allergies.
Absolutely. My uncle moved because he's allergic to maple trees. And it's a funny story because what is the Carthage signature tree?
Leaf.
It's maple trees.
Yeah,
I mean, we have a huge festival called Maple Leaf because there's fucking maple leaves
everywhere. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're allergic to maple, well,
people come to this town to see the maple trees in the autumn. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
But not if you have allergies.
Right. No, it's
It's
when you have allergies, you're sounding like I don't even know what bad celebrity thing to compare it to.
I don't know who it is, but it's it's a woman.
Sorry for everybody that saw my face.
It's a woman and she's got some Jersey accent. She's like, Howard.
Yeah, that is my lungs on our atmosphere. That lady right there, yes. But so like not only because of weather restrictions,
Yes.
but also I have a very busy life, right? And so like my goal is to enjoy my yard, right? And be a part of it, right?
You know you will in the summertime.
Oh, absolutely. But when I was trying to make sure I got an hour in every day, and on some days I'm really, really fucking busy between driving for work and the office stuff I have to do for work, and then making dinner and running kid where a kid needs to go, whatever.
Running this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Running this podcast, researching for this podcast, doing Twitter or Instagram for this podcast. So I'm like, oh, I can fit 10 minutes in here. I'll take the dogs outside. Or I'm going to go sit outside while I do this thing I have to do on my phone. So I'm outside. But I'm not really enjoying my yard. Right.
Yeah.
It's just trying to fulfill the goal. And that's not what I want this spiritual journey to be. So I'm amending that goal to something that is attainable for me with my lifestyle. And that I can enjoy, because I want to enjoy my yard, not just spend time in it.
Yes, exactly. That's not spiritual. That's standing outside.
And granted, like, you know, there's quite often where I do just enjoy my yard for 10 minutes while I'm taking the dogs out. I did it earlier today.
Did you like look up at the sun? Like,
no, I go in my garden and I go and I look at the raspberry plants and I see how they're doing, and I look at the blackberry plants and see how they're doing.
Bitch, we need to put some of that in our water. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah, it's starting to bloom. I've got chocolate mint now that we can put in our water. So I was checking on my chocolate mint earlier.
I love chocolate mint.
You know, Shelby, my dog that passed away at the beginning of March. She's buried in the backyard. She has a rock cairn that we created over her burial. She's planted under our mulberry tree. And we're putting roses.
Mulberries.
I know.
I didn't know you had a mulberry tree.
Yeah, it's a baby. Hopefully this year we'll get some better berries off of it. But yeah, we have mulberries out there all the time.
I love the non-ripe ones.
This in between, we should together in between podcast episodes as it gets warmer enjoy the yard in between.
Oh, absolutely. And
because
I would love to pick some for the garden or for our water
for sure. Oh yeah, because once the raspberries come in, we'll be mashing them up for the water.
Raspberry and lemon
and blackberry.
Yes.
And the blackberries give so much. Like we call that the blackberry garden because the blackberries have taken it over.
I would absolutely love that.
But like I was visiting with Shelby, and we're putting roses all around her. So like so far there's a red plant and a pink one, because pink is her signature color, because she's Shelby. She's named after Shelby from Steel Magnolias. When Corey said roses, I said they have to be pink. It's her signature color. So I want to find some lighter pink ones, because the ones that we did find are dark pink.
Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Bless you.
I'm so sorry. It is allergy. Just talking about flowers.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? But so like earlier, I did enjoy an actual 10 minutes in my yard.
Well, that's good.
But but it's not always going to be that way. And I don't want the goal to be something that's forced. I want it to be something attainable, but for enjoyment.
Is it specifically in your backyard or just out within nature?
Well, not to talk smack, but if you remember my front yard, my neighbors out front will watch me if I'm in my front yard.
I'm sorry. What I meant is like going on hikes and stuff. Is that a separate goal?
It is a separate goal. Yes, because I specifically want to enjoy my yard, because I have a nice yard.
You do. I want to enjoy my yard too.
Yes.
I'm never fucking out there, but to be honest, there's like 2 widowmakers out there, and I'm fucking terrified to be underneath them. The trees, the hanging things. Oh my god!
No,
just fall already. I don't want to pay somebody to do it. Just fall already. Because like
fair enough. I feel that.
They are terrifying. I actually had a boyfriend whose dad died from a widowmaker.
Damn.
They're fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
But my front yard is good. And I have taken blankets out there with Theodore, which brings me to comment on your goal as well. I had a same goal, get outdoors more.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a specific, like, this many hours, you know.
Right. You made a better goal.
Less specific.
Yes. Yeah. There was no time frame to meet.
I'm going to say that I have, in the sense that I went on like a mile walk. Woohoo! Yay!
Nice.
I am 5 months pregnant. That's a hard
Yeah,
feat.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was uphill. Well, some of it was. Granted, like you mentioned, the weather will not always be an excuse. Will not always be an excuse. And I'm not trying to use it as an excuse right now. But it's April, and we live in the Midwest, and it's tornado season, and that means there's lots of rain.
Yeah,
there's lots of
and whenever you guys hear the Rhiannon episode way later, you'll hear how my lungs sounded by the end of that day of recording. You'll understand why I'm like, my allergies are killing me. I cannot breathe.
Well, personally,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I
it's
just
okay.
thought of that.
So personally, for me, it's not really allergies. I'm not like a super allergic person like Amber and my husband are.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just I also have a 1-year-old, and if anything's below
a certain
50, a certain temperature, I'm not.
Or if the pollen count's really high, because his dad has such allergies.
Exactly.
I can't imagine he won't.
Exactly. But once it does start warming up and the rain and tornadic weather, unfortunately, we're kind of just beginning, really, because it just turned
Except
April.
for the brilliant, beautiful snow that
What the
some
fuck was that
Midwestern
about?
witch. You're like,
It was snowing
if I
yesterday.
wasn't so busy driving in the snow, I wanted to tweet about what Midwestern witch bitch out there gave us this bizarrely beautiful weather, because it was fucking
it was
weird.
weird.
It was
I
gorgeous.
actually stood out
It was
there.
freezing, but gorgeous.
Theodore was napping, and
This
my
was
husband
yesterday.
was outside trying to start the car, and I was
Last
like,
day of March,
I've got to
guys.
feel this shit. And I actually was like a little kid and opened my mouth and was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Probably really germy. But hey, it felt
bizarrely
fucking good.
beautiful.
It was bizarre. It was so bizarre.
It was.
So that's why I
It was
didn't go
so-
outside yesterday. Yes, I did. I went outside. I stood in the snow. And today it's like, what? It's almost 70 degrees.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
it's
getting
in the
up
late
there.
60s.
Yeah, 60s. Yeah. It's
So,
definitely up there.
I
It's,
think that'll be something.
Midwest.
Yeah. So that'll be something you and I can work on later in the season, because when the weather does get better, I want to go on hikes.
Yeah.
With
Well, and I still, if one morning this weekend, if I can sit out and enjoy and read my book a little bit, because I started reading Michael Pollan's book. I've told you about it before, and I wish I could remember off the top of my head what it's called right now, but it's about 4 different plants and how we as people and those plants have influenced each other's evolution. The apple, the potato, the tulip, and marijuana. He covers those 4 plants, and it's such a fucking good book. And I'm still on Apple right now, which is how it opens.
So do you mostly
I
read
love it.
nonfiction now?
No. I guess I would have to say that I am guilty currently of mostly reading nonfiction, because if it's not...
when you get older, you get boring. What? I say that because I myself have started reading nonfiction, but I still enjoy good fiction books.
I do, because if this motherfucker... I have a tattoo of this dude's song from a book, because it's my favorite fucking book series, but then they're gonna make it into a video game. And so now the last book hasn't been released yet. It's The Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. Get that book out there, you motherfucker!
Oh, I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
The first one's called The Name of the Wind. My mom actually just grabbed it at Walmart because she liked the cover, and then she read it and she's like, it's really good, and she gave it to me and Corey, and she never got that book back from us. We love it so much. I got lyrics from the song, the name of the song.
Now people are gonna be like,
the book.
Hey, do you like that video game?
Oh my god! Fuck anybody that says that.
Oh my
to
god,
me.
dude!
Especially if the last book's not out yet. Still,
I will
be
fucking
pissed.
die. Like, hey, I like that video game.
Oh my god, no!
Did you even think about
Patrick Rothfuss, you bastard! I got this way before there was ever going to be a video game.
Are you a gamer too?
Yeah. The first one's called The Name of the Wind, and it's all about sympathetic magic. It's the coolest fucking book series.
Really?
Oh my god, I'm in love with Kavoth. He's the main character, and he's got red hair, and he's in love with the prostitute Denna, who goes by all these different D names, but she's a prostitute, but he doesn't fuck with her or anything, and she's how rare it is that everybody else is trying to sweep me off my feet, while you are steadily trying to keep me planted on upright on 2 feet. And he's just I'm that kind of guy. And
He's I'm a nice guy.
He is! I love him! And then the third book, you find out what happens with them because, like, the first book is called The Name of the Wind, and you, like, that's part of, like, once you learn the actual name of the wind, then you have mastery over the wind. And, like, he saves her life because he has such mastery over the wind.
Is her real name the Wind?
I don't know. I don't think so, but that would be cool.
Because you
But,
said
like,
she would play all these different names.
well, yeah, because she's a hooker.
Yeah,
You know, and she's like 16. You know, I mean, like
Oh.
this is like fantasy.
Right.
Whatever. But I'm sorry if the H word's inappropriate, but whatever. I don't
The what?
know. The hooker. I don't know if that's a bad word to say now. I don't know. But anyway,
She's a whore.
sorry.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Maybe that was worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right word. I don't want to call her a sex worker
but when
because
I say
don't,
it that way,
you know.
I have to say it with an accent because we watched. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. We can keep going. But when I say a whore, I'm like a hole because we watched. I think it was like North and South or something, and this girl was trying to have sex with the general, but really she was a spy or some shit. And he's like, "You hoa," with like this deep,
Like awful. Is it British? What
no,
is
it's
that?
this awful Southern accent
Oh.
because she was a spy or some shit.
Okay.
So he's like, "You hoa." So every time I say, so yeah, she's a
enough.
hoa.
Yeah. Well, like Denna is a girl just making it by. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I know. No, I was like, I just don't know the right way to say it. But anyway, love Denna. Love her fucking character. Love Kavoth. But like, in the Name of the Wind, like any element, anything, you can master it by knowing its name.
I almost want to
right?
write reading
like,
more down. Actually.
He has such mastery over the wind that she's having like a fucking asthma attack, and he breathes the most gentle breeze into her lungs. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess that's supposed to exhibit what mastery he has. He doesn't just call on the wind and make it gust. He can call on the wind and make it slip into her lungs and allow her to breathe.
How romantic.
I know! And then in the second book is called
vibes.
A Wise Man's Fear. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. But
I love that
love
movie.
A Wise Man's Fear because there's a quote in that book, and it's called, the book is called A Wise Man's Fear, but one of the quotes in it is like, you know, always fear the sea when there is no, the sea in a storm, a night with no moon, and the anger of a quiet man. And it's one of my favorite quotes ever.
Ooh,
Anyway.
I actually got goosebumps.
I know, it's
love
such
that.
a
That's
I do
intense.
too. It isn't and like the third book is supposed to come out, and it's like The Doors of Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been waiting for like literal years at this point.
What the fuck are you doing, man? I hate it when
Because
authors
like
do that.
apparently he sold, like he's having a video, like there's a video game being made, and so like now the book has to match up with the video. No, the book does not have to match up with the video game. Fuck you, video game people. Sorry, but I love these books. I have it tattooed on me. Okay, that's how much I love it. So no offense if you like video games. I don't mean it. It's just an emotional thing for me. I've been waiting for this book for years. He even released like this other offshoot book about one of like the main
Why the fuck are
characters.
you writing that shit?
I know. I love my book.
Right. So I added that to my goals, which is read more because I love reading.
Yeah, I love reading too, and that's why I like the enjoying my yard thing I'm amending, because I want to. Corey loves to sit out there in the mornings and read. I want to sit out in the mornings or in the after. I want to sit out there and read in my yard
Right.
and just listen to the birds and listen to our pond and hear the fish come
the
up and
fucking
eat.
things.
Some
They're
of the
like,
fish are still alive, so I'm really happy about that.
the bugs. What the fuck?
Fucking cicadas.
Cicadas. I can never call think what I call.
No, I don't want to sit out there with them. No.
They're like
Not
this is
relaxing.
Yeah, I did write
Excuse
read
me,
more,
guys.
and you know what? I'm actually gonna add a little tidbit to that as well, which I wasn't expecting to add more goals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read more indie books because I do want to support smaller businesses,
authors,
and
yeah.
I think indie
I
authors.
started doing that during COVID. I bought a lot of books off of, the
Kindle?
writing community on Twitter.
Oh, you did? Did you find some good ones?
Yeah.
You know, I would definitely like to read more indie, and not just that. I mean, I guess this This isn't really what we're supposed to talk about. I'm sorry. So maybe this would be a different type of goal because it doesn't really go with this goal list as well. But I'd love to read more indie books, and I'd also like to support more indie businesses. And I think that, well, now that I think about it, maybe
that's a community goal.
A community goal, right?
Yeah.
That definitely goes with going to the farmers market.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
which we have not
exactly.
been able to do. But
They're not open yet.
They're not open yet. They're open
Probably-
either this week or next week. I
Right.
have to
Yeah.
look.
So we're gonna plan it.
I think
we
it's
gotta
April
plan it.
2nd.
But
April
like
2nd. That's
Oh,
tomorrow.
is it?
It's
That is
Saturday.
tomorrow. Okay.
My car's not working.
Well,
we'll
talk
figure it
about
out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Because I've
That,
got
we know.
a little kid's birthday party to go to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Let's
I know it's
see.
interesting, like, because of our conversation with these goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though my only food-based goal was, have my garden so I could grow my own food, and then go to the farmer's market and, stuff I'm not growing, buy from local farmers as opposed to, the mass-produced, vegetables at Walmart and shit. Which, again, not a bad thing. It's just like,
Just eat fresh.
Eat fresh,
But
yeah.
get
Like, no
organic.
judgment. I'm just saying, like, that's my goal. No, nothing against anybody else. Just my goal. But I became more conscientious about processed foods.
Oh, they're
Like,
everywhere.
they are. It's like I told you, I bought snack cakes for the first time because I almost never buy snack cakes. But, like, I know you see sweets at our house all the time, but a lot of those are
homemade.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
they
Like,
are.
she's not joking.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
really
like
are homemade.
Yeah, they are. But like, so I don't usually buy snack cakes, but
So what do you mean by that? Do you mean like
I mean,
Ho-Hos?
like ho-hos, like Swiss cake rolls.
Dude,
is
I have-
specifically what I
Oh,
bought.
I don't like those.
I
They're
like
too
Swiss
sweet.
cake. I
But
like
what
Swiss
are
cake
those?
rolls.
They're like cupcakes. They're like dipped in. Hostess?
Little David. Oh, Hostess cupcakes. Yeah.
Damn, that shit good.
Those hurt my teeth.
I haven't
that
had them in
shot,
so
that
long.
stuff on the top. It
The
hurts my
chocolate?
teeth. Yeah, but I realized my lizard brain took over. So for those who didn't see it on Twitter, because I wasn't like big about it or whatever, but like my younger middle daughter, I have two 18-year-old daughters, and the younger 18-year-old daughter, she had a really bad car wreck last weekend. And like I was just kind of like consumed with taking care of her, and at the same time, like I was giving in, I was giving into cravings. And so like I went to the store to get some stuff for her and fill her prescription. And like all of a sudden I'm grabbing like snack cakes and like chocolate chip muffins, like the little packaged ones, and like I thought about it as I was doing it even. I was conscientious of it, but I was like, no, I really want this shitty food right now. Like the shitty food's gonna make me feel better somehow.
Right.
And it's a bad That's
it does
not
because
a
of all the
good-
additives
It
and all
does.
the sugar.
That's exactly
where that,
it is.
Because it
But
literally
it-
raises
yeah,
your
it does.
endorphins or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Like when you eat McDonald's, your mind's like, oh my god, these fries are good.
Right. And I was like, so, I was really proud of myself. I didn't react with anger at all in any way. I still haven't reacted with
That's
anger.
fucking awesome.
To any of the
that's
amazing
fun, yeah.
things, because I am not a poor person, but we don't have insurance, and it's the emergency room bill is what it is, but she needs surgery, and that is a whole different story. And I didn't get mad when they said it was going to be a 4 to 6 week processing period on the paperwork for the financial aid.
the surgery would be by itself? If you don't want to say it, that's fine.
Nope, they didn't, because I didn't even get that far. I said, sir, we are self-pay. I cannot even begin to tell you where I might find money for surgery. And they whisked us off to say okay, you need to fill out the financial aid paperwork. And I was like, I got that from the ER the other night. So I already had the paperwork. And they're like, okay, well, and the lady that works at the office, she's going to try and push it through. But I wanted to yell at the woman in the one office and be like, are you fucking insane, lady? My daughter needs surgery on her chest. And you're like, well, there's only one lady that works in that office, so of course it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe you guys need more people in that fucking office, because the fucking medical industry is such bullshit and way the fuck out of whack, and normal people can't just afford that kind of shit. Not trying to sound whatever.
Well,
I'm just saying
shit, I will, but I'm not trying to sound shitty, but it's okay, my daughter needs surgery on her chest, and all you care about is giving me a fucking bill. Okay, how about we care about like fixing
my kid?
Yes.
Exactly. Like, you have the knowledge, you have the ability. I understand somebody has to be paid, but I also understand capitalism fucking sucks, and I'm not a capitalist anymore. And so, like, I just want to yell at you guys at this point, but I didn't. I was like, okay.
Oh, I was like, you are yelling at us.
I'm yelling at you guys, but I didn't yell at them.
Well,
I was just like,
it's so hard.
okay, just breathe.
Like,
I just breathed, and I just
like,
asked her questions, and then we came home and we called the doctor's office and we said we filled in the paperwork, and the lady was like, I'll try to get it pushed through, and we'll call you to schedule the insurance, to schedule the surgery. And it's like, okay, well, that's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Well, it's hard because you have to remind yourself, like, this isn't that person's fault, but when they make shitty comments, again, not to get off topic, but I went to my OB and I owed like $150 or some shit from a previous visit, and a new bill had passed in our state, which is if you don't pay, then the hospital can refuse you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? So if I cut my finger off or some shit on accident, and I go to the hospital and you're like, oh, you owe $100, I'm not gonna fix your fucking finger and you're gonna bleed the fuck out or some shit. It's like, she was like, well, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Bitch, don't be making your snide ass fucking rude comments,
shit.
right? Don't be making those snide ass comments.
Right.
I will vote you out of office.
Right. Like, do not test me right now.
Right.
And it's a shitty bill. Like, it is.
It's really sad.
It is.
I can't believe it got
But
passed.
it's capitalism, and that's why I'm anti-capitalistic now. Whatever, sue me. I don't give a shit.
Oh no, I've always been anti-capitalist. Fuck them.
Yeah, well, like, I went through stages. I was anti-capitalist, then I understood the system,
I say that,
and
but
now
then
I've grown up
maybe-
again. So
Maybe I don't want to say that I'm anti-capitalist on healthcare, and you know what I mean. Like, I feel like maybe I accidentally say some capitalist shit, not on purpose.
no, I get you though, because like
But,
I was getting to be understanding of capitalism when I was your age. That's when I started to be like, okay, I get it. I get the valid blah blah blah. But now, again, I'm back to where I don't get the valid anymore. I'm not with it. I don't agree.
I am totally
in any way,
against it.
shape, or form. I fucking hate capitalism.
Oh, absolutely.
That is not what this episode's about.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, I'm totally
also
against
not
it.
about being anti-Western medicine, but I am that too. So.
But as a human, I can admit that maybe I've said some things that would sound capitalist.
Oh, I million% have.
You know, and I hate that. I'm going to write that as a goal. Kill capitalism.
Yes, that is part of my goal.
Right. But
I
no,
want
seriously,
to. I do.
Absolutely.
The more industries we can remove capitalism from, the easier it is to take down capitalism. And like, I still,
we need communism.
Right? No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. Didn't say that. Didn't say that. Didn't say that. Didn't
we
say
were
that. Don't put that on Slavic me, man.
No, also don't put that on Witches Talking Tarot.
Right,
I'm so sorry. We are not
right.
communists.
No. I'm just like,
they're gonna
I'm
like
too
edit
Slavic.
just those words, and they're
It's
gonna be like,
I used to say like I'm too blonde and blue-eyed to make that joke about like Nazis. I'm gonna
Now
tell
you're
I
Jew.
am too Slavic for any communist talk to be involved with me. Like, I'm too Slavic. No.
They're gonna like somebody's gonna just cut out the part where we need capitalism. They're
And
gonna
it's
be like,
funny
this
because
is
I
what
am so
Maddie.
Jewish, but I'm anti-capitalist anyway.
Wow, that's really
It's fucked up.
But it's okay because
I was
she's
just
Jewish.
I'm making jokes. Sorry guys. I do not mean to offend anybody. I'm making jokes about myself that are not self-deprecating, and that's the okay way to joke about yourself.
Right. Yes.
But, so my long-term goal that is anti-capitalism, which is taking capitalism out of the funeral industry, I haven't put that away, but it is a long-term goal. So I'm like, it's baby steps, right? So actually in our vampire episode, in the research for our vampire episode, I learned a little bit more toward that goal. I learned just a little bit. And like, that makes me feel good because the more I learn about funerals, death, that whole process of what we do and what we could do differently, that is how I can make a change. So like, even though it's the only change was within my own knowledge, I still feel like that's important for the long-term goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And death sucks. Bryson, or my husband, recently had to bury a very good friend. Actually, she was a really good friend of both of us. She was an amazing person. I'm not laughing because that happened. That was very sad. I'm laughing because and I'm gonna say it,
which is why I'm
gonna go ahead and say it because I don't think anybody listens.
No.
I'm laughing because my husband was so upset, and it was supposed to be my job to get everybody around for the funeral, and I did, and we got up early, and my husband's upset, and he's crying, and he's like, I have to bury my friend today, and I'm like, I know, I'm very upset, I'm trying to be strong. Theodore, we're trying to find an outfit for my son. Our car's not starting, so we walk to the funeral home, which is okay, that's about 5 blocks. And we get there and no one's there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is no one here? And this is a dead funeral. Like, no
shit, Maddie.
I'm like, why is no one here? What's going on? So we sat on that fucking porch of the... it's a happy memory and a sad memory at the same time.
It's great to be able to include humor with, life is made of many things.
So we sat on the beautiful porch of the Victorian funeral home, and we sit. We sat for a good 15 minutes, and I'm like, bro, it's almost 2:00. It's supposed to start at 2. Are we at the right funeral?
Good.
So I checked the arrangements, and the funeral's on Tuesday, not Monday. My husband was literally sitting over. He's over there like, I'm so upset. I miss my friend, and I'm like, how do I tell this motherfucker the funeral's not today? Oh my god.
Fuck.
Easily the most awkward moment of my life.
I bet there's been more awkward.
But I can't lie, it's funny as fuck.
It is funny.
It's something you'd see on a fucking movie.
Yeah,
that's
or a
how
sitcom,
right?
A sitcom. But at the same time, it's very true to life.
And I'm
those kinds of things happen all the time.
Absolutely. And I'm laughing, and we're leaving. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My husband's like, let's just get out of here. I'm so embarrassed. We just sat on the fucking...
No, it's nobody fucking knows, and that's the thing. Everybody has those moments.
I made a post on Facebook.
Okay, well, nobody there present at the funeral home, for one, knew. But what I mean is, my husband gets really embarrassed about shit like that, too, and it's nobody fucking knows. For all they know, we took, a fucking walk, and we walked past,
a beautiful funeral home, and we're like, let's sit here.
Right. It's and you're overcome by emotions. Nobody has to know. Nobody does know.
Oh my god.
So it's there's no reason to be upsetty. No upsetty spaghetti.
No. I think the thing that sucks the most is I made a post on Facebook I'm so sorry we're laying to rest this person today. I'm so upset. Please pray for me.
Yeah, that part's rough.
And then,
that part's rough.
Yeah, because everybody who went to the funerals on my Facebook, and they're like, bro, who else died? Oh my
shit.
god.
Those poor people, they gotta go 2 funerals in a row, 2 days in a row. Tomorrow's that other lady's funeral.
My poor husband, dude, it was so rough, and then to have to tell him, I fucked up the funeral somehow. We just walked 5 blocks, got dressed with a 1-year-old. I took you an hour to find what you were gonna fucking wear. I did my full
he was
makeup.
already ready for tomorrow. He had a dry run. He was ready for the next day.
I just want to get home. My poor husband, but
so did the lady.
So
did the lady. Oh.
So that was
changing attitudes about death. That's what Amber's here for.
That was my experience with the death this year.
But it's good to include. It's good to have brevity with death.
It's not a happy memory,
because
but it's a funny one.
In the midst of life is death, and in the midst of death is life. And that's something that we've moved away from in our society because we get so wrapped up in death being bad. Mm-hmm. death being scary.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I'm not looking forward to dying anymore. There was a time, see me in person, meet me up close, you'll see the scars. There was a time. But, I was a young idiot, and now I understand the value of life. And I'm not looking forward to dying anytime soon, but I still think that death is something that we all need to face in every aspect. Like when my uncle died, we did a living funeral. He didn't want a funeral. And so before he died, while he was in hospice, my dad flew like everybody out to see my uncle. Even flew my sister in from London to see him again while he was still alive. And I prefer those memories. Mm-hmm. I do. I prefer those memories to every funeral memory I have because, it was crazy cool because, yes, he was dying, but there were some things, like he was having these prophetic dreams. Like, he was having prophetic dreams and then waking up and telling me about them. And, so it was awful that the man who was the next important to my father as far as me growing up goes, it was so hard to let him go and know that he was dying, but to get to spend time with him, to enjoy the life that we shared together, instead of just going and seeing a dead body that's going to be put in the ground. Mm-hmm. It was very cathartic for everybody.
I hate that shit.
It was lovely to get to spend the time though.
That's not what I meant. I meant the dead body. Yeah.
No, and so that whole living funeral thing,
I like that. That's
it is.
Well, when it's possible.
When it's possible, yeah. If it's a sudden death, you can't do that. You have no idea. But being able to do that, it was a beautiful experience that I'll never forget. And I'll never forget the dreams he had. And sometimes things happen and I go, Uncle Casey's dream. That makes sense now.
Well, I think I've said this in the past. Personally, I've experienced a Christian funeral, a Catholic funeral, and a pagan funeral. And I have to say, I do prefer the pagan funerals over both. Catholic's a close second, just because of the beauty of it.
Oh, yeah. Pomp and circumstance all the fucking way. Catholicism, you're my favorite religion other than Judaism. I don't call paganism an actual religion.
Oh, you don't?
I really sometimes I refer to it as my religion, but most of the time I call it this is my path.
Right.
So when I think of the word religion, it's usually Abrahamic. Yeah. But yeah,
I do prefer
Catholicism and Judaism. They're so great. I like them.
I like Hinduism, which is not, I guess, Abrahamic.
Yeah, it's technically, it falls under the pagan umbrella, even if they don't like that technically. Because I've had people tell me, they don't like what falls under the pagan umbrella, and I'm like, I don't make the rules.
I love Hinduism.
I love it. You can find Ganesh in my house, and Kuan Yin, and Buddha. I've got 2 Kuan Yins on my wall. Mm-hmm. Well, I have 1 Kuan Yin, and anyway,
Kuan Yin's like a Buddhist goddess almost. She's really cool.
Yeah.
She's really neat. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I do prefer the pagan thing because it's less of a I'm so sad and more of a celebration.
Right.
Whereas Christians tend to focus on the sadness. You're supposed to focus on the happiness of them going to heaven. But that's not what happens at Christian funerals. It's not. You know what I mean?
That is, I would agree with that. And honestly, I've read, pagans don't even often have funerals from the standpoint of those who believe in reincarnation. You're just going through a cycle and you're going to come back. Mm-hmm. I still would believe in some kind of celebration.
Like a party.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's more of a celebration. Yeah, exactly. Because you're celebrating that they've ascended. You're celebrating that they have a chance to go mingle with their ancestors before they come back and incarnate again.
Exactly.
So it's a beautiful concept.
And less of a goodbye per se.
Right.
At least the one that I went to.
Yeah.
Now the Catholic one, I am not gonna lie, I love the Catholic one, and I loved it because, like you said, it's so ritualistic. It's fucking gorgeous. They really do.
Dude, Catholics know how to do it.
Oh,
They know how to
They know how to drink.
I mean, they got it from us, but they know how to do it.
I know.
If
I can't party with a pagan, it's
party
going to be
with
a Catholic. I mean, let's be clear. We're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I grew up in a Catholic church. We're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we're going to say, please forgive me for getting fucked up. Then we're going to do it again.
I wonder if there's a difference between like Italian Catholics and Irish Catholics. I'm sure there is, but like
absolutely.
on the getting fucked up end. So
oh shit, I don't know. I don't know. Irish Catholics are pretty bad, but Roman
hardy.
Roman. Well, I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm gonna be careful.
Yeah, no, like I find it to be a beautiful religion, so I'm just saying.
Oh, like, absolutely.
Love all the pomp and circumstance, and of course, like, you know, I don't just want to change the funeral system. I want to change like our attitudes toward mourning in general, because yes, the pagan funeral is less mourning related, but I think mourning is incredibly important for humans, right? So like for the soul, especially if you believe in reincarnation, mourning may not be as necessary. But I truly believe, because I am so firmly earth and embedded in my current incarnation, I think mourning is incredibly important as you're letting things go from this incarnation to the next. So that's a me thing. But anyway, you know, I like how research for this podcast is helping with that goal. You know, I really enjoy that. And I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm accomplishing most of the goals I set out. I'm doing yoga.
Yay,
at least once a week. Corey's joining me most of the time, but he doesn't have a goal for this, so like he doesn't have to join me. I'm still doing it whether he's available or not, so that I hit my.
Well, one of the goals that we're reaching together is the herbal teas, or at least like detox water once a week.
Potions.
This week we're doing strawberries, pineapple, and basil.
And it tastes and smells fucking
amazing. It does, and since they're detox waters, oh my god, you gotta pee like the rest of the night.
So much. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I won't lie, like part of my horrid allergy attack, as Maddie and I have discussed, to like firmly believe that the detox water helped push some stuff to the surface that just made me feel a little shittier.
Right.
But it's getting out of me, so that's what's important. Like cleaning me out, cleaning out my liver, my kidneys, all that. You know, making my organs just so squeaky clean for spring cleaning.
So one of my goals was stop watching so much negative content online, TV, and social media.
Yeah.
And I will say I've done really well with that. You know, I've only watched one half true crime episode since our last blog post, and I want you guys to understand I watch true crime every day. They're my favorite podcast to listen to. So cutting cold turkey has actually not been as hard as you'd think, and I think it's because I watch them so much, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared. Now I don't want to watch them.
Freak me out.
Right. They do. They are actually fucking, oh my god.
Well, I believe in the law of attraction, so anytime I think of it in that way, I have to cut off the true crime.
I can't.
Oh god, I hate it when they have kids involved.
No, dude, I was literally just thinking last night. I was like, I'm gonna take Theodore outside. We're gonna play outside, and then I'm like, what if I turned around and he's gone? But I think that's a mom thing.
Yeah, that's totally. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. So that is intensified when I watch true crime. So it's a good thing I'm not watching true crime.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Like I was watching one with my husband, and I was like, this is why I don't go on a walk by myself, because this woman got kidnapped at 3 p.m. On a walk, 3 p.m.
Stop talking about Lacey Peterson.
Oh, is that who it was?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, like that's what happened. They think her husband killed her, but that's not what happened. He didn't do it. He's innocent, guys.
Yeah.
He's innocent.
I don't know.
Lacey Peterson was the one that was pregnant in California. She went missing. Like,
did she go on a walk?
She was on a walk. That her dog was out. Like, she had taken the dog for a walk, but they all think Scott Peterson killed her. Like. Everybody, well, the cops think Scott Peterson killed her. Of course, at the same time, in her neighborhood, there's like a group of robberies going on, and that van was at their neighbor's house, like cleaning out the neighbor's house. And Lacey Peterson was the kind of person who would have been like, y'all don't live there. And, you know, so like there's a huge belief that that group of robbers killed her and dumped her. And that's what happened, but Scott Peterson is still in jail for murdering his wife and unborn child to this day. And I swear to God, he got you talk about all the bad stuff that we get coming through our media, and the media is one of the worst things because the media crucifies a person, they're crucified. That's it. Once the media thinks you're guilty, that's it. And yet, Casey Anthony is free. Media,
right? Maybe,
why'd you fuck that one up?
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, because everybody was like, she fucking did it.
But the media fucked up. They fucked it up in the way that everything was biased against her, so she got this. Plus, like, she was fucking her lawyer, so Jose Baez fucked us all on getting her put away anyway. Because even if she had gone to jail, he did such a shit job, he was fucking her. She would have gotten off on a technicality anyway. I hate Casey Anthony. I hate Casey Anthony. You know Casey Anthony?
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of people hate her. I remember her being in magazines, you know.
Oh, yeah. Roz and I were just talking about, like...
trunk smelled like dead fucking body.
Right? It smells like a dead body's been in there. Her mother. Anyway, so... just saying, like, I get not bringing too much true crime into your life because you can get passionate about it.
Right, exactly.
But also, the media, just as much as things you choose to watch, will put bad stuff into
Oh my God,
your
they
household.
fucking do. Like you would not believe it.
Oh God.
So when I say watching negative content online TV and social media, I'm specifically referring to true stuff because I do still watch some, not necessarily scary movies, but thriller movies. Of course, you can't watch something without it being having a negative aspect in some point because there's got to be a fucking plot,
right, exactly.
You know? But specifically real life negative shit. And you were absolutely right because when I was pregnant with Theodore, I had something pop up that was called postpartum psychosis. And I was like, oh, what's this? Oh my God, this bitch just tried to drive her, I'm sorry, shouldn't have called her a bitch, tried to drive her fucking husband and her newborn baby off a cliff. Because she had postpartum psychosis, which is like postpartum depression on steroids. And so I clicked on it and I was like, oh my God, what if I have it? And then Facebook was like, no, you could also have this. And I'm like, no. And then I watch it because that's how they get you.
Right, yeah.
And the more you watch it, the more it shows up. Like, I mean.
Yep.
And I personally think it's because they're lowering our vibrations with that negative shit.
Yep, absolutely. Keeping us down. Yep. And that's, you know, we talked about mass consciousness or, you know, the awareness, you know, the unspoken awareness, whatever the fuck. Anyway, we talked about that last episode. It's affecting that consciousness of everybody because even
pineapple. I'm sorry.
Even when you're not trying to let all that shit in, it comes in.
Oh, absolutely. It just pushes and pushes and pushes itself at you.
Now I will say that I maybe have not visited my altars, each one of them, for the past 2 weeks, but I've done better than I have in the past. I've definitely hit my Aphrodite altar and my Persephone altar. But Demeter and my ancestors, I only got them once instead of twice in the past 2 weeks. But, that's better than once a month. So I'm still improving. I'm working on it. I'm trying to hit my goals. I tried to set attainable goals for myself. And I do believe that one's attainable. I have to get back in the habit because
that's all about habit forming.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, same with the habit of complaining less, being more grateful. I feel like I'm really doing a good job about that because again, everybody that's like they feel bad that Gia has the broken collarbone. They feel bad that she's wrecked her car, and I'm just like, she's walking. My daughter's alive. Seriously, I'm so fucking grateful that she's alive because I saw the car and she could have not walked away. I'm just trying with my real life situations that I maybe wouldn't always be so good about. Trying to be better about them. Granted, I haven't completely stopped complaining. I catch myself. And I'm like, hey, don't complain. And try to reframe it, but...
But we're human.
Yeah, we're human, exactly.
Humans complain.
We do.
I need to stop yelling. I'm a bad yeller. And
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's because I'm pregnant. But I don't like it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Because when you yell and see you yell,
Yeah.
you know, it's...
Right. No, I'm with you. I was a yeller. I was a yeller. Not old yeller. Not a dog. I didn't get put out in pasture, but I was a yeller. The yeller.
So how did you stop?
You know, like I said, a lot of these goals are building on stuff that I started years and years ago, right? So it was just kind of being aware, like, God damn, I yell a lot. I yell about everything. Kind of like where I recently realized, like, I still get angry about everything right off the bat. It was, I yell. I yell to get my point across. I yell to get their attention, right? I don't yell to get attention out in public. I'm not a psycho bitch. But like with your kids, you know. With your kids and they're not paying attention. Your husband, they're not paying attention. Hello! You know, yell. And then get mad as they're just looking at you because they're like, oh shit, bitch is yelling out of nowhere. But for you, you've been talking to them. They just haven't been hearing you.
You're not paying attention.
Right,
It's making me mad now.
exactly. Right, exactly.
You wouldn't be wondering why I was yelling if you were listening.
Right, exactly. And so like for them it just started, but for me it was building up. And so it's just like, okay, get their attention in any way possible before you get to the point that you're so frustrated you're yelling at them. You know, just like trying little things. I still yell when I get to a level. It was mostly having a realization of I fucking yell when things go wrong. And I don't like who I am when I start yelling. Because I am diagnosed as bipolar. I don't like getting to extreme emotionals in any way unless it's manic bitch coming through and pleasant manic bitch who wants to paint and do fun things. That's the only time I'm okay with the extreme emotionals. I don't like to get to a point because I don't want to say they'll lose control, but
I hear you.
That wouldn't be a false statement to make either. And I don't want to get to that point. And like, so when it came to my understanding or when it came to my awareness that that was how I was behaving, I was like, no. If you don't get escalated in the first place, you don't lose control. You know what I mean? So I did really well until COVID. I did. COVID. Went back to the 90s in COVID, but seriously, I listened to everything I listened to in the 90s. I started watching things I watched in the 90s. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, as you go through different spiritual awakenings and journeys in life, you make more, you realize things, right? And so that's where the lack of like not yelling as much. I can't say I don't yell at all anymore. Like I would love to say that, but I can't honestly say that. Can't say that.
I know. I'm like, I wonder if Lolly and them would agree.
That I yell less? Well, they have to. Like, yeah, like Roz would tell you I yell a lot less. Like Lolly and Gia somehow like grew up under a rock in some ways because like we used to do all this fun shit that they don't remember. Like I was a really fun mom when I was younger. Like we had all these dance parties where like it was just me and the girls home. So like I'd put on like YouTube videos of like songs they liked, like Fireflies and yeah. And
like,
like the Flowbots. Yeah. Well, see, Roz remembers it. Gia vaguely remembers it. Lolly doesn't remember it at all. We used to have makeup parties where we'd do makeovers with each other. We used to have like face mask parties. We'd do nail parties. We'd have tea parties, like all the time. Because like I wanted them to have fun growing up.
They're girls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are. They're girls, and so like I did things I thought would be fun for them. And Roz remembers all of it. Gia remembers some of it. Lolly remembers like just a minuscule amount, which fucking pisses me off because it's like I couldn't do that shit forever. Like I had to get a job eventually. Can't you remember it at all? Can't you remember it at all? We had so much fun. Nope. Damn it.
So
But Roz remembers. She remembers all of it.
I'm curious on if anybody else has written down their goals, or if they've reached any of their goals, or
Are you guys
or
working
how
on
you
a spiritual journey with us? Are you joining us on our quest?
Yes. If you are,
like it.
leave a comment or even a review on what, Spotify?
Good Pods, Apple. You're supposed to be able to leave a review on Spotify, but I have no idea how.
Okay.
As a person who listens to Spotify,
Let us know.
yeah,
You know, I'm
like
very
if you know
curious.
how, tell Amber, because I'd like to leave reviews on shows I listen to too.
Right.
I just can't figure it out.
And if you don't want to do that and you follow us on Twitter at Classiest Witches, then at us.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you're doing with your spiritual journey. Are you joining us? Because we're really interested. We think it's great.
Right.
And
Like,
if you want to see what we're up to, otherwise, you can check us out on Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot.
and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, please. We would love to see our YouTube go further. And Melissa, thank you as always for helping us make a better show. We appreciate you being our patron on Patreon. And if you're interested in seeing what we offer on Patreon to anybody who's not Melissa, please look at the link in the bio.
Yep.
Or not bio, description.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're probably going to have, I can't remember, we're going to have the Tattoo Squid promo after this, so stick around to hear about his show. And we're going to be guesting on his show in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So definitely check him out. Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah. Thanks for coming to sit with us for a spell.